Many of my clients refer to me as the Flamingo Lady, and it's true. They hold a special place in my heart, and so many character traits that just teach us lessons. But one of the things that's so interesting about flamingos is their resiliency, their ability to survive in super harsh conditions. I mean, we're talking from negative 22 all the way up to almost 150 degrees, and any range in between. And they are uniquely designed to go through those harsh conditions because their God created them to do so.
Your work is worship. You are unique. His design is your advantage. Leverage all that He's granted. Be who you are, let your colors show. Flamingos, let the whole world know there's joy through and through. When you let God work through you.
I'm Katie Hornor of the FlamingoAdvantage.com. Our business helps faith-based entrepreneurs scale their businesses, gain more visibility in their marketing without compromising their faith, their family, or their core values. So God took a girl from the mountains of Western North Carolina all the way to Mexico. My husband and I have been in Mexico for 16 years, the first 12 of those as missionaries. Initially, we were going down to work at a Bible college, and it was difficult to raise support because most churches want to support church planters or people doing evangelistic type work, which we did, but our primary goal was working at the college. And so with 50% support, we had one man who said, you need to get down there, get some experience. I'll pay your other 50% for 2 years so you can get to the field and get some experience. And so we moved. We crossed the border into Mexico on April 13th, Friday the 13th. We were there about 2 years when we felt the Lord pushing us on. And at the same time, we got an invitation from another friend, a ministry that I had known and grown up supporting from our church back in the Carolinas, who had a children's home on the other side of Mexico and was looking for someone to come and be the leadership of that home into the future. But our questioning different things in the ministry we were in was not looked upon favorably. When we decided the Lord was leading us elsewhere, it was not looked upon favorably. And it ended up being a very messy ministry change as we were trying to follow the Lord to a different ministry. There was a lot of fear of man at that point in the transition because for so long, every decision that we had made as a family and in our ministry even was around getting the approval of someone else. It felt like we were more concerned about what are the supporters going to say, or who's not going to send next month if we do this, that, or the other thing. In hindsight, we really had more of a fear of man than we did a fear of God at that time. And when the circumstances changed and we had to go back and say, we no longer have this ministry, we're looking for what God has for us, there was an even greater fear of, what's going to happen. And I was reminded, though, that your supporters are not your provider, your God is your provider. And that brought us peace, but we still had financial needs. And, especially being mom and little ones in the house and putting our heads together and saying, Lord, show us how you want to provide. We dove in, tried to learn the ropes and figure out what we were supposed to be doing at the children's home. We were there about 9 months when the missionary widow lady came to us and said, I had hoped that this would be a happy ever after ending. I had hoped my staff would fall in love with you, but to be honest, they were not in agreement with me bringing you on as leadership, and this is not working, so you have to go. And so now within a year, we'd left 2 ministries under less than favorable circumstances and had a lot more criticism, lost a lot more of our financial support. Some of our extended family saying, well, it's obvious you can't work with anyone in ministry anyway, you should just go back to the States and get a real job. And yet both of us, my husband Tap and I, knew that God had led us there. It wasn't a person, it wasn't a ministry that had called us there. God specifically had led us to Mexico. And so we started looking around saying, Lord, what are you doing? And if you want us here, how are you going to provide for that? This is one of the darkest times that we walked through as a family. or that God walked us through. I like to say it that way. God walked us through, but it was definitely a dark time. And I remember thinking, how are we going to do this? We didn't have a work visa in Mexico at the time. We didn't have credit cards. We didn't have savings. We had asked a family member for a loan and been denied. What are we going to do? And yet we knew our God was faithful, and that if he had called us to this, he was going to provide in some way. The answer had to be in a business.